In 1972, Muhammad Ali fulfilled one of his dreams when he purchased a training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. The self-contained facility included a gym, a dining hall, and cabins for Ali's entourage and guests. Howard Cosell visited Ali there a few days after his victory over Frazier. Cosell had often doubted Ali's capacity to regain his former glory. But after Ali's performance in Super Fight 2, Cosell was a believer once again.
We're at a pleasant mountaintop retreat in the little village of Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, the training camp of the gentleman approaching me, Muhammad Ali.
The world's greatest training camp. How you doing, Cosell?
Good to see you, Muhammad. Muhammad, any physical aftermath of the second Frazier fight?
Well, I hurt my finger here before the fight, and I had a slight cut. In some way, the punching and the bruise infected it, and just had the penicillin shot, and the finger's a little stiff and sore, but it's going to be all right. The doctor said about 2 or 3 days, just soak it in hot water.
Mm-hmm. Before the Frazier fight, the second one, you went out of your way, especially perhaps on Wide World of Sports with me, with Joe present, to talk in terms of that fight being a racist fight. How much of that was sincere? How much was promotion for the fight? What are your real feelings?
Well, it's not that black and white was fighting. It's not that we had this in mind. It's two people looked at the fight 2 different ways. And the various bigot reporters, who I consider a bigot, and the way they talk and act, which is, I expect and I understand, it's just the nature. Many of them who picked Frazier, like the last Frazier fight. Some reporters are saying Frazier won the fight. Crazy.
I'm disturbed by one thing. In your whole career, I've heard you scream, I want Liston, I want Frazier, I want Kenny Norton again. And I'm disturbed about the fact that you haven't said, I want George Foreman, because that would involve the championship, and that would involve the biggest payday of your life.
Well, at the time I wanted Frazier, he was recognized as the champion that took my title, and I wanted to come back. Had so much to fight for. And then when I started Liston, I was just getting known to the public. But right now, I really don't want, it's a strange thing, I'm not anxious to fight George Foreman. Like, we had 1 billion people watching the last fight, the biggest event in the recorded records of the planet Earth's history. And the Garden was sold out weeks in advance. People getting $1,000 for $100 tickets, $200 for $20 tickets. So what I'm saying is, I don't need the crown to be recognized by the people of the world who fill the arenas. So this is why I'm not so anxious to fight George Foreman.
But until and unless you do and beat him, there will be a percentage of people who say, or who will say, oh no, he doesn't want to fight Foreman because he knows he can't beat him. He's afraid of him.
Well, I'm not afraid, and I'm not anxious to fight him. I'm constantly aware of him. I'm getting older now, and I have a few years left, not many. And I don't plan to go a few years, just 1 more year. But I always check myself after each fight because I'm more vulnerable to punches now.
You only plan to fight 1 more year?
Yeah, probably 1 more year, at the most 1.5 years. And that's it.
So the Foreman fight has to take place within that time?
Right, I'm sure it will. George is not ducking himself. He's fighting Kenny Norton, a good fighter. If he was ducking, he wouldn't have picked him. I think he's crazy. Norton might win.
Do you think you can beat him?
Well, how would I think I can beat him? You know, I can say I think it. You know, my confidence, I don't have to express it. But I think when I'm in shape, moving like I was at Frazier, in and out, and not laying on the ropes at boxing, I think I'll have an easier chance with George Foreman than you saw me fight Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier fought me much harder.
Look me in the eye. You really believe that?
Look you in the eye, I'll slap you to prove it.
Assuming you retire in 1 year to 1.5 years, as you say, do you think you'll be able to adjust to life without the prominence that you've enjoyed as a fighter?
Well, yes, Howard. This is one reason I can stay at this training camp months at a time when I used to have to be around hotels in Miami Beach or New York City around people. I'm getting tired now. I have 4 children, have a wife. I'm looking at life different. I want to start enjoying life, taking vacations and doing all I can to help the black people in that problem, ministry work and Islamic faith in the country, and I have so much I want to do. I will miss exercising, which I can always go to gymnasium or I can always do road work.
Final question. The public's interested in this because you are 32 now. How are you fixed financially?
Well, I would always try to save a great deal of money after each of my fights from my family so that they won't have to work and scuffle like I did. And it's a shame for athlete or businessman or whoever to make so much money and don't save for the children who can't make like yourself. And I'll save, say after the second Frazier fight, I might put up in my little account in Chicago, possibly say $300,000 for the security of my children. I'm having it fixed where I can't touch it. After George Foreman, I would like to be up to the $3 million mark and just live on the interest and just save the rest for the family.
Have a good rest.
Thank you, fella, and you be cool because you're no fool.